The decision that affects nearly every woman, man, child, and probably pet in America. Today we learn if interest rates go down or stay the same.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Progressive Insurance. Progressive is looking for individuals who want to join an inclusive and unique culture. More information, including application, at progressive.com/careers.
I'm David Brancaccio. The central bankers at the Federal Reserve can adjust something called the Fed funds interest rate in a way that makes borrowing more or less expensive in their campaign to keep inflation down in an economically healthy way. But it's like a lot of things in life. Timing is everything, and the betting is today isn't the time to lower interest rates. But 5 hours from now, we're expecting hints from the Fed that rates will go lower on September 18th. That's the next Fed meeting. Marketplace's Nova Safo has more.
Inflation, as measured by the Consumer Price Index, peaked at over 9% 2 years ago. It's now down to 3% after a brief setback at the beginning of the year. Many Federal Reserve officials, including Jerome Powell 2 weeks ago, have signaled confidence that they're getting closer to their target 2% inflation rate.
We didn't gain any additional confidence in the first quarter, but the three readings in the second quarter, including the one from last week, do add somewhat to confidence.
And that's why markets have been pricing in a September rate cut. With the labor market cooling but resilient, Fed officials today could give clues not just about the timing of cuts, but about the pace of cuts as well. I'm Nova Safo for Marketplace.
We're talking lower rates for here in Japan today. Central bankers did the other thing. They raised interest rates slightly to try to slow the decline of the Japanese yen. A dollar buys 150 yen, which is a lot of yen. In years prior to pandemic, you'd see it at 105, 106. U.S. bonds are up with the 10-year interest rate down at 4.11% after the private payroll company, ADP, reported today that only 122,000 more names were on payrolls using their tally for this month. That points to a job market growing more slowly, implying less inflation. Year over year, pay went up 4.8%, the slowest pace in 3 years for those who stayed but did not switch jobs. The government job report is not until Friday. Now, about 15% of deals to buy a home in the month of June fell apart. That's from data collected by the real estate site Redfin, and it's the highest failure rate of any June. Redfin chief economist Daryl Fairweather.
It's similar to some data we saw back in 2023 and 2022, but much more elevated than the rate of deals falling through during the pandemic or before the pandemic.
Volatile interest rates are a key to this, with some buyers getting a rude surprise when they find the mortgage rate too high at lock-in time. Home insurance costs are also a factor. You can stream my colleague Sabri Benishor's coverage from marketplace.org if you missed it in our Later in the Day half-hour program.
Marketplace Morning Report is supported by Amazon Business, aiming to help save time by offering smart business buying solutions so there's more time to focus on growing the business and less time doing the admin. More at amazonbusiness.com.
The biggest virtual playground for kids is trying to grapple with a predator problem. The online gaming platform Roblox has about 78 million daily users, and more than 40% of them are preteens. Bloomberg Businessweek investigative reporter Olivia Carville has been looking into cases where dangerous people get around safety systems at Roblox. Ms. Carville, thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
I mean, the thing about Roblox is that you can play it, but you can also you can create for it. There's an in-game currency that's exchanged. There's a in-game messaging system. Does that lead to vulnerabilities?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Roblox really is social media for the youngest generation. Inside Roblox, you have 13 million different games that are developed and created by users of the platform, and you can jump from game to game. And because there are so many spaces inside this platform and so many messages being sent between users who are playing its games, it is really hard to moderate. We describe it in the story as a Sisyphean task. For the moderators, those are human and AI technology that Roblox uses. It's just really difficult to moderate.
And you found dangerous creeps that lurk within?
Yeah, that's right. Predators have been using the internet to connect with children since it was first created. I think what's different about this story is we've actually seen predators pedophiles, and in some really unfortunate cases, registered sex offenders gaining access to Roblox to use the platform and its games to groom and befriend children.
What does Roblox do about this? Well, how do they respond to your reporting, I should say?
Roblox, in its response to us, it kind of rejected that it had a systemic problem with child endangerment on its platform. It explained all of the different safety features and tools that it has on the platform. The company says safety and civility are really foundational to its existence. So they really feel like they have very robust safety tools in place, but obviously, like most internet companies, more can always be done. And, you know, they say that it's an ongoing mission to keep their users as safe as possible.
So grown-ups who have responsibility for children on these sites are listening to this concerned. Do they have to play a more active role in supervising kids playing, or could technology come to the rescue?
I think it's both. I'm not a parent myself, and I appreciate how challenging it would be to be a parent in today's world. So if parents have young children using this, I think trying to become familiar with Roblox itself, what actually is it? Understand that your children can talk to strangers in this space. You can toggle on and off how many people your child can talk to. Can they talk to anyone at all? Can they only talk to their friends? What experiences can they enter in the game? And know that sometimes, you know, your child could go back in and switch those off as well. So making sure that you're on top of what the safety features and tools Roblox offers are, and talking to your child about what they're experiencing inside the platform, I think is also something that parents can do. Just try and have an open dialogue about what they're seeing in the game, because, you know, as a parent, you can't sit and watch what your children are doing in any moment inside Roblox. It's too big and kids love it too much. They want to be on it all the time.
Olivia Carville, along with her colleague Cecilia D'Anastasio, are Bloomberg reporters who wrote the piece in Bloomberg Business Week entitled Roblox's Pedophile Problem, the Internet's biggest recreation. Roblox's Pedophile Problem. The Internet's biggest recreation zone for kids is fighting to keep predators away, and it's not always winning. Olivia, thank you.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Stock market, NASDAQ futures are now up 2%. I'm David Brancaccio, Marketplace Morning Report. From APM, American Public Media.